Welcome back, classic TV fans. Today, we're diving into one of the most legendary courtroom dramas of all time, Perry Mason. From 1957 to 1966, this iconic legal series captivated audiences with intense cases, dramatic courtroom battles, and unforgettable performances. But what happened to the cast after the show ended? How did their careers unfold, and where are they now in 2025? Today, we'll take a deep look at the stars who brought this legendary series to life, from Raymond Burr's commanding presence as Perry Mason to Barbara Hale's unforgettable portrayal of Della Street. So, whether you're a longtime fan of the show or discovering it for the first time, get ready to relive the golden era of television as we explore Perry Mason, then and now. Let's get started. Raymond Burr was born on May 21, 1917, in New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada. Before becoming one of television's most iconic lawyers, Burr had already established himself as a successful character actor in Hollywood. He appeared in classic films such as Rear Window, where he played the chilling villain Lars Thorwald, and A Place in the Sun. However, it was in 1957 that he would take on the role that defined his career, Perry Mason. Perry Mason, based on the novels by Earl Stanley Gardner, was one of the most influential legal dramas in television history. Burr played the brilliant, sharp-witted defense attorney who could unravel even the most complex cases in the courtroom. His commanding presence, calm demeanor, and piercing intellect made him the ideal Perry Mason. Every episode followed a similar structure. Mason would defend his client, outmaneuver the prosecution, and ultimately expose the real culprit in a dramatic courtroom revelation. Burr's performance earned him 2 Primetime Emmy Awards and cemented his place as a television legend. The series ran for 9 seasons, and despite its conclusion, the show remained in syndication for decades. Fans couldn't get enough of his powerful performances, and the show's famous courtroom battles set the standard for legal dramas that followed, including Matlock and Law and Order. In 1985, Burr reprised his role as Perry Mason in a series of television movies, bringing the beloved lawyer back to life for a new generation of fans. He continued playing the role until his passing in 1993, solidifying his status as the ultimate courtroom hero. Although Raymond Burr passed away on September 12, 1993, his legacy as Perry Mason remains as strong as ever. His portrayal of the legendary attorney is still regarded as one of the greatest performances in television history. Even in 2025, Perry Mason remains a household name, with new generations discovering the show through classic TV channels and streaming services. His work continues to influence courtroom dramas, and actors still look up to his ability to command the screen with intelligence and charisma. Beyond acting, Burr was known for his philanthropy and humanitarian efforts. He was deeply involved in charity work and even owned an island in Fiji, where he supported local communities. He was also passionate about nature, cultivating orchids and vineyards in his free time. Though he is no longer with us, Raymond Burr's impact on television remains timeless, and fans still remember him as the one and only Perry Mason, the defense attorney who never lost a case when it truly mattered. William Hopper was born on January 26, 1915, in New York City, the son of legendary Hollywood gossip columnist Hedda Hopper. Despite growing up surrounded by the film industry, Hopper initially resisted pursuing acting as a career. However, after serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II, he eventually found his way back to Hollywood, where he took on supporting roles in films such as Rebel Without a Cause and 20 Million Miles to Earth. His big break came in 1957 when he was cast as Paul Drake, Perry Mason's trusted private investigator. Paul was more than just a detective. He was charming, resourceful, and always ready to dig up crucial evidence that helped Mason win his cases. He often provided comic relief with his witty banter and effortless cool demeanor. Drake's role was essential to Perry Mason's success. Unlike Mason, who worked within the confines of the legal system, Drake operated in the shadows, tracking down witnesses, uncovering hidden truths, and sometimes bending the rules to help Mason secure justice. His on-screen chemistry with Raymond Burr and Barbara Hale created one of television's most iconic crime-solving trios. Hopper's portrayal of Paul Drake earned him a loyal fan base, and he became one of the most recognizable private detectives in TV history. He remained a core part of the show throughout its 9-season run from 1957 to 1966 and later reprised the role in The New Perry Mason, 1973, proving that his character's legacy endured even beyond the original series. Tragically, William Hopper passed away at the young age of 55 on March 6, 1970, due to complications from a stroke. His untimely death left a void in the Perry Mason universe, as fans had grown attached to his smooth-talking, trench-coat-wearing detective persona. Even in 2025, Paul Drake remains one of the most beloved TV private investigators of all time. His ability to balance toughness with charm set a standard for detectives in later shows such as Magnum P.I. and The Rockford Files. Though his career was relatively short, William Hopper left behind a timeless performance that continues to entertain fans through reruns and streaming platforms. His portrayal of Paul Drake ensures that his name remains synonymous with classic TV crime-solving excellence. William Talman was born on February 4, 1915, in Detroit, Michigan. He was a versatile stage and screen actor before finding his most famous role as Hamilton Berger, the district attorney who regularly went head-to-head with Perry Mason in the courtroom. Berger was a fierce prosecutor, always convinced he had an airtight case, only to be outmaneuvered by Mason at the last minute. Despite his frequent losses, Talman played the role with intensity and dignity, making Berger a formidable opponent rather than just comic relief. His booming voice, sharp arguments, and unwavering belief in the justice system made him an essential part of Perry Mason's success. Unlike many TV adversaries, Berger wasn't a villain. He was simply a man dedicated to upholding the law, even if it meant losing case after case. His interactions with Mason weren't built on hatred, but rather mutual respect, making their legal battles all the more engaging. Talman played Hamilton Berger throughout the entire 9-season run of the original Perry Mason and became one of the most recognizable faces of classic television. However, his career and life were tragically cut short. William Talman was diagnosed with lung cancer in 1968 and became the first Hollywood actor to film an anti-smoking PSA before his death. The emotional message, in which he warned others about the dangers of smoking, aired after his passing on August 30, 1968, at the age of 53. Even decades later, his legacy endures. The rivalry between Perry Mason and Hamilton Berger remains one of television's most famous courtroom battles, and fans still admire Talman's ability to portray a dedicated, hard-nosed prosecutor who never gave up. Today, Perry Mason continues to be enjoyed by audiences worldwide, ensuring that William Talman's powerful performances are never forgotten. Ray Collins was born on December 10, 1889, in Sacramento, California. Long before Perry Mason, he had an extensive career in radio, theater, and film, even working alongside Orson Welles in Citizen Kane, 1941. In 1957, he took on the role of Lieutenant Arthur Tragg, the dedicated yet occasionally exasperated police lieutenant who often found himself at odds with Perry Mason. Tragg was responsible for investigating crimes, gathering evidence, and making arrests, but more often than not, his cases unraveled in Mason's courtroom. Collins played Tragg throughout the majority of the show's run, but had to step back due to declining health in the early 1960s. Even as his screen time diminished, his impact on the show remained significant. Ray Collins passed away on July 11, 1965, at the age of 75, after suffering from emphysema. He was unable to finish the final seasons of Perry Mason, but his presence was felt throughout the show's remaining episodes. To this day, Collins is remembered as one of the finest character actors of his generation. His portrayal of Lieutenant Tragg helped establish the grizzled detective archetype seen in later crime dramas. Shows like Columbo and Law and Order owe a great deal to the foundation he helped build. Even in 2025, his work in Perry Mason remains a highlight of classic television. His performances continue to be studied by actors and enjoyed by audiences, proving that his legacy as a crime drama pioneer is as strong as ever. Wesley Lau was born on June 18, 1921, in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. He started his acting career on stage and later transitioned into film and television, often playing law enforcement roles due to his serious demeanor and authoritative presence. In 1960, Lau joined Perry Mason as Lieutenant Andy Anderson, stepping in after Ray Collins' health issues caused a gradual reduction in screen time for Lieutenant Tragg. Andy Anderson was more analytical and reserved compared to Tragg, bringing a more methodical and by-the-book approach to investigations. Beyond Perry Mason, Lau appeared in other popular TV series like Mission, Impossible, The Time Tunnel, and Bonanza, solidifying his place as a reliable character actor. Wesley Lau passed away on August 30, 1984, at the age of 63. While he may not have been as widely recognized as some of his co-stars, his portrayal of Lieutenant Anderson remains an important part of Perry Mason's history. Today, Perry Mason continues to find new audiences, with Lieutenant Andy Anderson being remembered as one of television's most professional and dedicated detectives. Richard Anderson was born on August 8, 1926, in Long Branch, New Jersey. He started acting in the 1940s and quickly gained a reputation for playing stern authority figures, military officers, and detectives. In Perry Mason, he played Deputy District Attorney Steve Drum during the final season, replacing Hamilton Burger, William Talman. As the new prosecutor, Drum was aggressive and determined to win, but like his predecessor, he found himself constantly outmaneuvered by Perry Mason's superior legal strategy. Although his time on Perry Mason was brief, Anderson went on to achieve immense fame in the 1970s for his role as Oscar Goldman, the government official overseeing operations in The $6 Million Man and The Bionic Woman. His famous line, "We can rebuild him. We have the technology," became a pop culture phenomenon. Richard Anderson passed away on August 31, 2017, at the age of 91. His career spanned 6 decades, making him one of the most enduring character actors in Hollywood history. His ability to play authoritative, yet likable characters made him a favorite among fans, and his legacy as one of television's most respected supporting actors lives on. Barbara Hale was born on April 18, 1922, in DeKalb, Illinois. Before becoming Della Street, Perry Mason's loyal and highly competent secretary, Hale had already built a successful career in Hollywood. She starred in films alongside legends like Robert Mitchum and James Stewart, proving herself as a talented actress. However, in 1957, her life changed forever when she was cast as Della Street in Perry Mason. As Perry Mason's trusted assistant, Della was intelligent, resourceful, and always one step ahead. She wasn't just a secretary, she was Mason's right-hand woman, helping him organize cases, investigate leads, and prepare for his legendary courtroom battles. Della's relationship with Perry was filled with unspoken loyalty and deep mutual respect, and while there was always an undercurrent of romantic tension between them, the show kept it subtle, focusing instead on their incredible professional partnership. Hale's performance was so beloved that she won an Emmy Award for Best Supporting Actress in 1959. She was one of the few cast members to appear in all 9 seasons of the original series and later returned for over 30 Perry Mason television movies from 1985 to 1995, keeping the spirit of the show alive for decades. Barbara Hale passed away on January 26, 2017, at the age of 94, but her legacy as Della Street remains unforgettable. She was a pioneer for strong female characters in television, proving that a woman in a male-dominated field could be just as smart, capable, and essential to the success of the team. Even today, fans still admire Della Street as one of the best female characters in classic television, and her presence in Perry Mason helped pave the way for future TV heroines. Whether in reruns of the original show or the TV movies, her performance continues to captivate audiences. Off-screen, Hale was known for her warm personality and dedication to her family. She took a step back from Hollywood in the later years of her life, focusing on her children, including actor William Katt, best known for The Greatest American Hero. She remained grateful to her fans and frequently spoke about how much she loved playing Della Street. Even though she is no longer with us, Barbara Hale's legacy endures, and her portrayal of Della Street remains one of the most iconic female roles in television history. She will always be remembered as the woman who stood by Perry Mason's side, proving that intelligence, loyalty, and determination could be just as powerful as any legal argument in court. And there you have it. The legendary cast of Perry Mason, then and now. From courtroom showdowns to Hollywood fame, these actors left a lasting mark on television history. What do you think? Which Perry Mason character was your favorite? And did any of these cast updates surprise you? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love classic TV, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest videos on your favorite stars. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.